When Emily Carrington died in the summer of 2023, it was quiet, unceremonious. A stroke, the doctor said. Peaceful. She was 74, a widow, no children. The small New Hampshire town of Elmswood mourned her briefly, a paragraph in the local paper. A few flowers left at her gate. Everyone remembered her as the sweet old woman with silver hair who fed the neighborhood cats and waved from her porch. What no one expected was the diary. It was found a week later by Claire Matthews, a local librarian assigned to help sort through Emily's belongings for donation to the Historical Society. Tucked in the back of an old cedar chest beneath pressed flowers, brittle photos, and faded letters, it sat wrapped in blue velvet, soft, preserved. Its cover was worn leather, initials etched delicately in gold leaf. E.C. Claire, by nature curious and meticulous, opened out a habit more than intention. She didn't expect to find a story waiting inside, but she did, and it changed everything. July 14th, 1972. I watched him again today. James. He doesn't know I see him. I know it's wrong, but I can't stop. I love him. I love him even though he belongs to her. But soon, that won't be a problem anymore. Claire's fingers froze over the fragile pages. She flipped forward, eyes widening as she read on. Each page of the diary painted a picture of someone no one in town had ever known. Someone entirely different from the soft-spoken woman who handed out cookies at Christmas and knit scarves to the church auction. The Emily in the diary was haunted, obsessive, desperate, and very much in love with a man named James Whitmore. James, as it turned out, was married to Margaret Whitmore. In 1973, Margaret died in a boating accident at Elmswood Lake. It had always been chalked up to misfortune. She never should have gone out alone, people had said. But according to Emily's diary, Margaret wasn't alone that day. March 3rd, 1973. She's suspicious now. I saw it in her eyes. Margaret never liked me. She thinks she can keep him from me. But I see the way he looks at me when she's not watching. He wants to be free. I'll set him free. For both of us. Claire felt a chill crawl down her spine. The entry was dated 2 weeks before Margaret's death. The next few pages were even more unsettling. Vivid descriptions of the lake, of a rowboat, of sleeping pills crushed into tea. The final entry, written 3 days after Margaret's death, chilled Claire to the bone. April 2nd, 1973. It's done. They believe it. The sheriff barely asked a question. James was devastated. God, he was beautiful in grief. We're together now. Not yet publicly, but soon. I can wait. I waited this long. Besides, who would ever suspect sweet, quiet Emily Carrington? Claire didn't sleep that night. She researched everything she could. Police reports, newspaper clippings, even old photographs. It all aligned. There was never any formal investigation. The autopsy listed drowning, with sedatives in the blood explained as possible anxiety medication. James died of a heart attack in 1986. Emily never remarried. She had lived the rest of her life in the shadow of her secret. Until now, the discovery sparked a storm in Elmswood. The diary was turned over to the authorities. The lake was dredged again, pointlessly. Some believed it was a hoax, others a tragic confession of a lonely woman who imagined too much. But those who knew her, the ones who remember her tea parties, her soft-spoken laugh, the way she never quite looked anyone in the eye, weren't so sure. Claire published parts of the diary in a regional journal. She changed the names, but the whispers never stopped. Now every summer, someone leaves white lilies by the lake's edge. For Margaret, they say, and every now and then, someone asks the question, what other secrets lie buried beneath the smiles of quiet people? After all, her diary told all. Claire Matthews had meant to become a central character in Elmswood's greatest mystery. But in the months following the diary's publication, her life took a strange turn. Some in town called her a hero for uncovering the truth. Others accused her of digging up the past just to stir gossip. At the library, people watched her now, less like a librarian and more like a storyteller holding a dangerous tale. But Claire couldn't let it go, because what disturbed her more than Emily's confession was that it didn't end with Margaret. October 29th, 1974. It's happening again. I saw him, the new teacher at the high school. Mr. Lane. The way he speaks, it's like he's pulling light through the cracks in me. I thought I would only ever love James. But perhaps I'm not built for only one love. Maybe I'm built for obsession. And maybe I'm done apologizing for it. Claire blinked, her hands trembling as she flipped page after page. It was all there. Another man, another slow descent. But this time, something changed. This time, the man didn't vanish. Emily did. January 6, 1975. He's scared. I see it. He pretends it's love. But it's fear. They always fear what they don't understand. And they never understand me. But I have a plan. This time, I won't just take what I want. I'll keep it. Mr. Lane, Jonathan Lane, was a math teacher at Elmswood High. He left town in early 1975 under personal circumstances and was never seen again. No forwarding address. No resignation letter. Just gone. Claire went to the archives, pulling dusty records, asking uncomfortable questions. One elderly teacher finally confessed that Jonathan had told the principal he was being stalked by someone dangerous. But no one took it seriously. After all, who could be dangerous in Elmswood? Sweet Emily Carrington? She made muffins. By spring, Claire found herself unable to sleep. Emily's diary had grown darker, more cryptic. Entries shifted from words to scribbles. At times, they read like poetry. Other times, like coded messages. One passage haunted her. May 15, 1981. The attic remembers. What holds memory better than skin. I kept a piece of him, like I did with her. A souvenir for the quiet years. Let the house speak when I'm gone. Claire's breath caught. The attic. The Carrington house had long since been turned over to the Historical Society, awaiting preservation. No one had gone into the attic. Claire herself had only been assigned to the downstairs cataloging. Armed with a flashlight and a town council's hesitant approval, she climbed the old staircase one rainy morning in June. The air grew colder as she reached the top. The attic was choked with dust and time. Old trunks, cobwebbed furniture, and in the far corner, a wooden chest. Heavy, locked. It took 2 days to get a warrant and a locksmith. Inside, they found more than memories. There was a velvet-lined box containing teeth, a gold ring with the initials Jail, a woman's scarf, stained with something dry and rust-red. The police reopened cold cases. DNA testing began, but Claire already knew. Emily hadn't just confessed in ink. She'd left trophies. The town of Elmswood changed forever. Tourists came. True crime bloggers hovered. The Carrington house became a dark landmark. The widow's house, they called it. Claire returned to her quiet life. But something inside her had shifted. One night, she opened the final page of the diary. It was blank, or so it seemed. Holding it against the window light, she saw faint imprints where a pen had pressed to the page above it. A single sentence, carved by pressure alone. I wonder who will love you, little reader. Claire snapped the book shut, heart pounding. Some nights, when she's alone at the library, she hears footsteps, or smells lavender, Emily's perfume, or sees the attic stairs in her dreams, leading somewhere deeper than wood and dust. The truth was never buried. It was just waiting for someone to read it, because, in the end, her diary told all, and perhaps still is. Claire donated the diary to the Elmswood Historical Society under one condition. It would never be publicly displayed, never read aloud, never published in full. Some stories, she said, aren't meant for the world. They're warnings whispered through time. The Carrington house was eventually boarded up. No tours, no plaques, just silence behind the windows, and rumors that the attic still creaked at night. Claire left Elmswood a year later. No farewell party. No note. Just gone like Jonathan Lane. Like so many others who brushed too close to Emily Carrington's gravity. The last thing Claire checked out from the library was a slim, blank leather journal. Some say she went north, to Maine. Others believe she still writes. Quietly, somewhere far off, turning truth into fiction. But if you ever visit Elmswood, listen carefully outside the old Carrington house. And if you hear a soft turning of pages in the wind, it's just the diary, still telling, to anyone who dares to read. Years passed. Elmswood grew quieter, older. New families moved in, unaware or unconcerned about the town's history. But the locals never forgot. They avoided the Carrington house, crossed the street when passing it, and warned children not to go near. Yet curiosity, like the past, always finds a way back. In the fall of 2031, a college student named Ava Reynolds came to Elmswood to write her thesis on small-town legends rooted in truth. She heard whispers about the diary, the attic, and the librarian who vanished. Locals refused to talk, brushing her off with uneasy smiles. But Ava wasn't easily discouraged. She found Claire's published article in a regional archive. That was her gateway. And soon enough, she was standing before the Carrington house, camera in hand, notebook in her coat pocket. The door was chained, the windows sealed. But the cellar? Not quite. She slipped inside, flashlight cutting through cobwebs and dust. Her breath turned visible in the stale air. Nothing moved. Nothing made a sound. Until she heard a thump from upstairs. The attic. Ava climbed, floorboards groaning beneath her. At the top of the stairs, something shimmered. A single page, fluttering on the floorboards, as if placed deliberately. She picked it up. The handwriting was elegant, old-fashioned. I see you've come to hear my side. Good. You'll understand then that love never dies. It waits, and it chooses the ones who listen. Behind her, the attic door creaked open on its own. That night, Ava never went home. Her car remained outside the Carrington house. Driver's door ajar, keys still in ignition. The police found her camera inside, photos still intact. The last image was a blurred shot of the attic stairs. And on the final photo, in the shadows, a figure stood behind her, wearing lavender, smiling. Today, Elmswood tells the story differently. They say the diary wasn't a confession. They say it was a lure. And they say every generation, someone new finds a last page and writes the next. So if you ever find an old leather book with gold initials, if you ever hear the scent of lavender in a room too still, ask yourself, is this just a story? Or are you about to become a part of it? Because remember, her diary told all, and now it's your turn.